The way I found out about Nancy McEwen being shot and killed was through my friend Bob Schlageter. Bob and I grew up together. He just lived around the block from me. We played Little League baseball together and hung out. And that morning, I was working on my job. It was a Thursday morning. I had a landscaping business. I had just finished cutting the lawn of one of my clients, and I was watering the flowers when I saw Bob's car drive up. And he came up to me and he said, "John, did you hear about Nancy McEwen?" I said, "No." He said, "She's just been killed." I said, "Come on, Bob. Don't kid about things like that." And I was surprised too, because I hadn't told anybody about going out with Nancy. So Bob didn't know that. He said, No, it's on all the news. Come on out to the car." So we went out to his car and we put on the radio. And sure enough, in a few minutes, that's what they started talking about. Now, at the time it happened, nobody knew where that bullet came from. And there were lots of theories about it. And in fact, the story that got peddled in the media was that she had been killed by a sniper. The next morning, the New York Daily News, which at that time had the highest circulation of any newspaper in the world, really. I can't remember whether it was owned by Rupert Murdoch back then or not. But the entire front page was devoted to this story. The headline was simple: "Sniper snares another." And then there was a picture of Nancy's bloodied carcass. The Daily News and all the media outlets were peddling fear, because they know fear sells. This was one of the things I learned, how people and stories are fabricated and exploited. The explanation that was planted in everybody's mind was the fear-based explanation that there was a sniper at large. A few days earlier, a sniper had killed someone in Central Park. And so it was naturally assumed that Nancy was another victim of that sniper. And this, in the minds of almost everybody who might have any knowledge of this situation, was the truth of the matter. A sniper. And I accepted it, though I had questions. It didn't seem to make sense to me. Nancy's car was going probably 50 miles an hour down that highway. What would a sniper be doing at 8:30 in the morning, hanging out in the dunes? Could there be a sniper that was so accurate that they could shoot a bullet from a distance of, it had to be well over 100 yards, through the back window of a car, down only a few inches, striking Nancy in a spot that would kill her instantly. This just defied common sense. It defied any laws of probability. Hey, we got some friends up here. See the deer? But I accepted this story because there was no other plausible explanation for it, and because it's the story everybody else accepted. And the story lasted for a few days. They exploited it for everything they could, and then it faded, and we heard nothing more about it. And it wasn't until many years later, when I was a journalist and the tools of the internet started to come into play, that I decided that I would dive in. Because I'm a deep sea diver, searching for that holy grail, the truth. And started diving through the waves of noise that besiege us every day in the media. Down into the belly of the whale. And there I found something unbelievable. Something so wildly improbable that it simply causes the mind to seize up at how something like this could possibly have happened. I had discovered the truth of what happened to Nancy that morning. And to discover it, I had to contact someone in Scandinavia, of all places, who had a video that had been made about that morning. And it also took me to the library, where I found a book written by one of the most famous detectives in the history of New York criminology, who had taken on this case at sort of the defining case of his career, and eventually solved it.